Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. We're going to talk about Star Wars rumors and whether or not any of these rumors have any basis in reality. Now, last week we talked a little bit about the rumor circulating around YouTube about George Lucas and the royalties situation with Disney, about how there's been speculation that the reason Disney has sort of pushed the original trilogy characters onto the back burner was because George Lucas gets a steeper royalty cut for those characters versus the characters Disney created. This came from a couple of YouTubers who were apparently contacted behind the scenes by Lucasfilm insiders. Now there is an article out on Bleeding Fool, not Bleeding Cool, don't confuse the two, because there's no ads on Bleeding Fool, out on Bleeding Fool by Ichibaka that sort of disputes that rumor. And again, when we talked about it, we said it's a rumor. We don't know exactly what's going on. But I will say, in the defense of the YouTubers, we do have people come to us behind the scenes. We've never had anyone from Star Wars come to us behind the scenes, but we do have animation insiders, Disney insiders, anime industry insiders, etc. come to us and give us information that later does turn out to be true. So I really don't know where we sit on this rumor, but I am going to talk about Ichibaka's article and why he thinks that maybe these YouTubers are actually being trolled so they can be mocked later, I guess. And then later in the video, we're going to talk a little bit about Episode 9 and some of the rumors around Star Wars Episode 9. And if this is actually the plot leak, it sounds like a shit show. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. If you have not done so already, it helps the channel grow tremendously. We passed 50,000 subs this week. We've already picked up another couple of thousand since then. We thank you guys so much for your support. We want to keep bringing you content like this. Okay, from Ichibaka on Bleeding Fool, why we're skeptical of that Lucas/Disney royalties rumor. Again, we talked about this in an earlier video. You can go out and find it. I think I titled it, Disney Doesn't Want to Pay George. So we don't know where we stand on it, but I'm really interested to hear Ichibaka's take. This rumor comes to us from Midnight's Edge, Doomcock, and Neurotics, all very fine individuals, so they're not throwing shade at these individual YouTubers. Geeks and Gamers also commented on the rumor after Bounding in the Comics reported on it. The rumor basically states that as part of the deal Disney made with Lucas when they bought Star Wars, Disney still has to pay Lucas a certain amount of royalties. I'd actually heard this before, but I thought it was on the entire franchise, not just original trilogy characters. That was part of his compensation. Because of this, Disney is veering away from material in the original trilogy and prequel trilogy and remaking things in an effort to avoid paying George Lucas anything. Supposedly, this rumor comes from anonymous insiders. The recent insight into the redesign of alien species might seem to support that rumor, but I'm skeptical of this rumor for several reasons. First, Obi-Wan Kenobi dies in the first Star Wars film. Qui-Gon dies in The Phantom Menace, a character that would have prominence in the prequel trilogy. So killing off legacy characters in and of itself really isn't a problem. No, we expected someone to die in the sequel trilogy. I just didn't expect everyone to die. The problem was the lackluster, anticlimactic way in which the characters were killed. Second, one of the pieces of information meant to support this rumor is the change to the Falcon's radar dish. But as fans know, the Falcon's radar dish was knocked off during the attack on the second Death Star. Plus, the ship was always a work in progress under Han's ownership. That doesn't really ring any alarm bells. I agree. I don't think, and honestly, they're not changing the Falcon design enough by swapping out the radar dish to avoid paying royalties. It's still the Falcon. It's still the Falcon. There was Rogue One. They had digital recreations of Princess Leia and Grand Moff Tarkin. Well, yeah, and it could also be argued, though, that they did that as sort of a segue film. That Rogue One was meant to be, like, they're willing to take a hit with Rogue One using original trilogy characters like, you know, Darth Vader and Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia to ease the fandom into the new Disney era of Star Wars, but I digress. I can see both sides of this. As the title of Episode 9 is The Rise of Skywalker, if they needed to stay away from all things original trilogy, I doubt they would have titled the next movie this way. I think that is actually beating the nostalgia drum. I have to wonder if it wouldn't have been The Rise of Skywalker had The Last Jedi performed better. You know, I think The Rise of Skywalker is sort of like a callback to be like, oh, hey, we still have Skywalkers in this thing. We still have Skywalkers in this thing. So there isn't much to this rumor that makes sense to me, but there's something else. And this is what's really interesting, what I wanted to cover in this video. When I hear rumors coming from anonymous sources, I immediately think back to what we already know about Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.com sending out fake spoilers to rival websites in an effort to discredit them. Could somebody be pretending to be a Lucasfilm insider, sending a bunch of garbage to YouTubers that they don't like? Or could it actually be somebody from Lucasfilm sending garbage rumors to YouTubers to get them to cover it so they look dumb later? I mean, I've seen this with a lot of YouTubers who claim to have inside information from Lucasfilm regarding The Last Jedi, and they had all kinds of rumors, and it turned out that like none of them were true. You know, none of them were true, and then they were actually dunking on those YouTubers at Lucasfilm. Like, can you believe they actually bought that? You know, so it's possible. It's possible that YouTube, the fandom menace, is being trolled by Lucasfilm. Who knows? Who knows? But it is kind of a weird rumor because there's really no egg on face to be had with this, right? I mean, this is all speculation. Nobody's going to know what the actual deal is with George, because you can't just call up Disney and say, hey, I want to see George Lucas's contract, you know, the bill of sale for Star Wars. I want to see this so we can go out to the internet and prove or disprove. You're probably never going to know. I mean, the specifics of the deal, it's between Disney and Lucasfilm, and George Lucas in particular. So who knows? Okay, so a thread at MillenniumFalcon.com forums in April 2015 shows information taken from the comlink, a subforum from MakingStarWars.net. Apparently, MillenniumFalcon.com had some informant or mole that gave them this information, and as a result, they put together a dossier, which can be read by anyone as of this writing. The dossier tells Mr. Ward's history of engaging in doxing activities earlier in March 2015. In particular, the contacting of workplaces of individuals that he had online contacts with. The thread has been archived here. I'm going to put a link to this article in the description. You can go check it out for yourself. Definitely worth a read. There is more information there than I'll be able to post here. So you'll have to click on the thumbnails at MillenniumFalcon.com to see these posts in full size and full context. There's also discussion of efforts by Ward and his associates to pose as Lucasfilm insiders and feed false spoilers from Star Wars productions to rival websites including StarWarsNews.net in an effort to discredit them publicly. Ouch. Ouch. According to the information at MillenniumFalcon.com, it appears that Jason Ward had rival competition such as Rebel Force Radio in his sights since at least 2015. It was waiting for an opportune moment to strike. For Ward, it was about entrenchment. So I see no reason why Jason Ward or another entity wouldn't try the same tactics with YouTubers. YouTubers have become the new Star Wars fan sites, haven't they? YouTube has stolen. You know, there's definitely some animosity between YouTubers covering pop culture and bloggers at the established, entrenched pop culture websites. I mean, we've kind of gotten into it sometimes with people who work for these pop culture websites that have basically become a extension of the marketing department for many of these studios, and we've called them out for that, and we've gotten some blowback from that. So yeah, I mean, is YouTube a threat to some of these websites? Absolutely, absolutely, it is. So could potentially could somebody be feeding false rumors to try to discredit these YouTubers? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think the rumor is plausible. Knowing George Lucas, knowing how shrewd he is, and knowing how Disney contracts work, you know, being familiar with other Disney contracts, it is possible what they're saying, you know, but it's also possible that they're being trolled. You know, so this is interesting. So from my perspective, being Ichibaka's perspective, not my own perspective, this stinks as a concerted effort to discredit the fandom menace, only a few months away from the opening of Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, by feeding them false rumors. But I could be wrong. Another YouTube channel, Star Wars Only, is skeptical of the rumors. So that's an interesting theory. You know, and this is where I'm torn on this, because I think it's completely plausible. It's completely plausible. Both scenarios are plausible. Like I said, we've had information fed to us by insiders. Some of it we talk about in videos, some of it we don't. We just keep on the down low, and then we find out later that, yeah, it was true. But we also know our sources. If somebody comes to us anonymously, you know, and I don't know who they are, and they can't verify who they are, then I'm like, I can't do anything with this. You know, I don't know what you want me to do with this. I can't do anything with it. Even if they come to us with information, some of it I'm like, I don't feel like it should be put out there because, again, I don't know. You know, I don't know the details of it. But what I'm saying is it's possible for insiders to go to YouTubers. That's absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. It's also possible that YouTubers are in the crosshairs of a concerted effort to discredit them to make these, well, basically shill websites look better by comparison. Because, you know, right now these websites are, you know, whether it's Star Wars or comic book websites or anime news sites, they are fighting fiercely for eyeballs because YouTubers have overtaken them. I mean, literally, a single YouTuber in the corner of their house can get more views than an entire quote-unquote news network. You know, that's kind of the place where we're at right now. So are they a threat? Absolutely. Absolutely, they are a threat to old guard websites. And we saw it with, you know, comic book sites too doing this. So yeah, is there an attack on YouTubers by bloggers? Yeah, I think that's totally plausible too. So I'm not really sure what to make of this. I'm just kind of putting it out there. You know, just kind of food for thought. I will put a link to Ichibaka's article because I think it's, you know, it's got a lot of links into it you want to check out. And again, we're on the fence, and we always mark rumors as such. You know, we got some heat for the Doctor Who rumor about Chibnall and Whittaker leaving from some people. And, you know, we clearly mark it as a rumor. Like, we don't know. This is all speculation. We have no idea if it's going to happen, not going to happen, but let's look at circumstantial evidence as to why it may or may not happen. And in this case, I think either scenario is very, very plausible. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, opinions, and whatever else we do here on Clownfish TV. This has been Neon. We'll talk later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.